Big show. Josh Hokit got a UFC win at the White House. He walked out to my Uncle Hulk Hogan's music. We're going to get into all that. Plus, I'm going to react to his UFC White House win and his Obama call out. I come from a pro wrestling family. I've got a lot of insight into these things. He's doing some stuff that nobody's noticing, and it's not just being loud, obnoxious, and some would say cringy. He's got some other stuff going on behind the scenes. We're going to get into all that. We're going to go deep into the psychology of call outs, shit talk, cutting promos, interviews, post fight speeches. Man, I absolutely love this type of thing. If you guys have ever seen me after my fight, I go full pro wrestler mode. So I'm going to get into it with you guys. RIP Hulk Hogan. That is my uncle. I'm a pro MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt. My name is King David MMA. I coach and I train at Extreme Couture. So we got all kinds of shit going on today, guys. Let me check the chat real quick, and I appreciate everybody who's been subscribing lately. Dude, we're about to crack 600 subscribers like butt cheeks. Split it in half. You know what I mean? No problem. We're dude, 600 a day, 1,000 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We got Arpon the Dawn in the chat. He says, let's go. We're live. Real ones in the chat. Bro, speaking of real ones, let me drop this link. For those of you guys that want to get real one shirts, you can, but there's one caveat. You got to be a real one, right? You can't be a weenie, a wussy, a whiner, a complainer, a cockatoo, a chicken head, a turkey neck, none of that. Real ones only. Aubrey Gordon says real ones are right here, right? So make sure your notifications on because I go live at random ass times. Tap the like button. It feels so good when you do. It changes colors. It makes a little animation. You feel good. You help me out. I appreciate you for it. That's how we do it around here. And make sure you send your coach to studiomillions.com. Studio Millions will get their gym right. Guys, I'm not playing about that. Like, the number one thing you could do for your coach is send them to Studio Millions, straight up. That's not cap. That's not hype. That's not bullshit. Like, it literally changes people's lives. So anyways, let's get right into it. I'm going to drink some caffeine quick. As you guys saw, Josh Hokit called out Michelle Obama. My uncle is Hulk Hogan. Josh Hokit's been doing a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of people have been calling him cringe. He literally walked out to my uncle's theme music, which was played by the White House band, which was pretty freaking epic to hear the band's version of it. But Hoka did walk out to Real American, which is that dun, 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 right? So my uncle walked out to that his entire career, except for when he walked out to Jimi Hendrix, which was when he was part of the NWO. But when he was Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, he walked out to Real American. And yeah, so Hogan's doing several things. One, he's calling himself the Incredible Hulk, which is very similar to my uncle's original branding, which was Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk Hogan. Now, there's the Incredible Hulk, who's the green guy in Marvel movies and comic books. Then there was the Incredible Hulk Hogan. And the reason why my uncle started getting called Hulk is because they did a TV show about the Hulk starring a huge 6'4" bodybuilder called Lou Ferrigno. And Lou Ferrigno turned green and he played the Hulk. And they were like, dang, because my uncle's name was Terry. They're like, Terry, you're bigger than Lou Ferrigno. We should call you the Incredible Hulk. Right. And so that's how the name, the Incredible Hulk, came to be. And my uncle went from the Incredible Hulk Hogan to Hulk Hogan. Now, fast forward, Josh Hokit is coming out as the Incredible Hulk, right? So he's in a way paying tribute to that style of lineage. And he walked out to Real American. So, first things first, if my uncle was alive, he would appreciate what Hokit's doing. Hokit's doing some nuanced stuff that's not just being cringe. He's going beyond cringe. He actually has a strategy. I'm going to give you guys his entire strategy right now. And my uncle would support it. I know for a fact because one, my uncle supports Trump. My uncle also spoke at the Republican National Convention. And my uncle got the biggest response at the Republican National Convention, which is where Trump had his bandaged up ear and all that. And it was before the election, and my uncle ripped his shirt off. And went, you know, uh, he went full Hulk Hogan. He wasn't there as Terry Bollea. He was there as Hulk Hogan. So, anyways, now we got Hokit. Hokit walks out to Real American, and Hokit's been talking shit. Hokit's been putting all the pressure on himself. He's been calling out names. He's been calling out Alex Pereira. He's been calling out Ilya Taporia. He said that Ilya Taporia married a Miami stripper. He's being very disrespectful. He said that Alex Pereira chews up Ilya's food and spits it into Ilya's mouth like a baby bird, which that's kind of fucking funny, right? Like that's kind of funny to see because for whatever reason, Alex Pereira and Ilya Taporia like have been sitting next to each other at the press conferences leading up to this fight, and they've been kind of going against Josh Hokit together in a way. So that was interesting for Hokit to frame it that way. So, anyways, he's been putting all this pressure on. He wins the fight against Curtis Blades, and Donald Trump, not related to Hokit's win, but like an hour before Hokit fought, he asked Dana White, he said, "Hey, how come Derek Lewis isn't on the White House card?" And so Dana said, "Oh, well, he is now." And then he called Derek Lewis, said, "We're going to find you an opponent." Hokit wins. They go in the back while he's being taken out on a stretcher to an ambulance because he won, but he took a lot of damage in that fight. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to fight Derek Lewis at the White House?" Hokit says yes. Now Hokit's got to heal up. And while he's healing up and he's doing these interviews and he's trying to get ready for the White House card because he just fought a couple weeks ago, he's disrespecting everyone. Shots are fired. He went on Nina Drama. He was calling her a whore and a bitch. And he was doing it in a very creative way because he was like, "Hey, I think you're a nice lady. Josh, shy Josh thinks you're a nice lady. The real Josh thinks you're sweet and really smart and funny. But if the Incredible Hulk was here, he'd probably call you a whore. He'd probably say you're a bitch and a whore." You know what I mean? And so he was doing it in an interesting way, right? And then Nina Drama was playing along, and then she was saying that she gets called a bike on the internet. She gets called the bicycle of MMA, which means everybody gets a ride. And so Nina and him but he was going in on everybody, right? In various forms. And he was even going in on people as Shy Josh, the real Josh, because what he was doing, he was shining a light on how boring he perceives everybody else to be. So, as real Josh, without the Incredible Hulk gimmick and without the Down Vato gimmick, real Josh is like a mirror reflecting back to the other fighters how non-charismatic they are. So when they ask real Josh a question, real Josh goes, "Yeah, I just like to apologize to Ilya Taporia. Um, the Incredible Hulk was really mean to him, but you know, he practices really hard and he trains hard, and I think we're gonna see a really good fight out of him. Yeah, Alex Pereira is a big scary guy, and he has a good team, and he's gonna fight hard, and we're all excited to see it." You know what I mean? And so he's playing it up because that's what all the fighters do, right? They all do the same thing. Thank their coaches, their teammates, their family, right? Like if you ask them to pick a fight, "Oh, I don't want to pick, man. That's a crazy fight. Oh, dude, I don't want to take sides." Like there's no any form of controversy or anything with like 99% of the roster. And then you have the other 1% of the roster that is trying to get attention somehow. And some of them are good at it and some of them are bad at it. And Hokit, in a lot of ways, is so bad at it, but he commits that he becomes good at it. Right. And so what he started to do was amp up the pressure on everybody. So now the pressure's on Derek Lewis because he's talking shit to Derek Lewis. Now Derek Lewis has to go out and KO him, but he's saying that he's I'm gonna beat Derek Lewis clueless, And as corny as that sounds, you as a fighter, you don't want some dude sitting 10 feet away from you saying he's going to beat you clueless and being corny and being disrespectful. And then you're the knockout king of the UFC. You got more knockouts than anybody. And people would expect, based on HOKIT's last fight, that this fight was going to be a slobber knocker, and it wasn't. HOKIT played this fight correctly. It's called stick and move. It's called hit and don't get hit. So the other day, Aubrey Gordon was in the chat, right? And Aubrey was asking about some techniques and tactics, right? And I was getting into like even the word striking is like a misrepresentation of what's actually happening because it's not just strikes. The majority of what's happening is like a foot placement battle, range, eyes, evading. So we could call it, instead of striking, if you wanted a more accurate name for what you could look at it as, would be like evasive standing combat. You know what I mean? You want to evade and then you want to strike. And so Hokit was doing that really fucking well. Then he took down Derek Lewis, which I thought was going to be his game plan off the jump, but he added in some striking, which was kind of wild. Even though he was evasive, right? It's still risky with a guy like Derek Lewis. He took him down. And then he did the armbar, which I've seen a meme of that armbar afterwards, and I don't know if that armbar meme, because there's two other guys doing an armbar meme, and it's like, oh, when the armbar hurts your nuts, you scream, ah, and then he literally screamed in the match. And so I don't know if they made that meme after this fight or if that was a meme before and Hogan was recreating it. So if he was recreating a fucking internet meme about your nuts getting crushed while doing an armbar, that's hilarious because he set the armbar up pretty well and he didn't finish it well, but he like almost like looked and like winked away at like, hey guys, like he knew he could have finished it. That's what it looked like. That was interesting. Or maybe he was playing it off because he didn't know how to finish it. But either way, then he gets the finish and he KOs Derek Lewis, which is fucking wild, right? So Hokit's now the fucking man at this point, and he gets on the mic and he plays this fucking perfectly because he starts with his incredible Hulk shit. Yeah, the beast did that, and then he goes, you know what, man, fuck it. Hey man, I'm here. Trump's the man. Nobody would have the balls to put this on. And then he goes into like the real him. So as he's moving up the rankings, he's transitioning from cornball cringe master into like the real him. And then he had put I believe some people say it is a rookie trading card that he put around Donald Trump's neck of himself. So he gave him a signed rookie trading card. And then, other people are saying it's some other shit. But anyways, he put something on Donald Trump's neck and he's on the mic and he's shouting out Trump, which is great. A lot of people were shouting out Trump. It's all cool, right? But like Trump's used to people shouting him out. So how would Hokit endear himself with the president of the United States? Because the president has heard it all. He's heard everybody go, oh, man, nobody else would do this. Nobody would have the balls to do this. Dana White and Trump, man, you guys are the best, right? And they're like, they would appreciate that, right? But they're hearing that a lot, back to back to back to back to back. So Hokit goes in. So this is I do not believe in what Hokit says, just for the record. I haven't looked into it. I know there's like a lot of theories out there. Maybe you guys have more information than I do. I've not looked into it at all. But Hokit decides, and this is the genius of this. He goes in on Trump's fucking enemy. Because one of the quickest ways to align yourself with someone is to share a common enemy. If you have a mutual enemy with somebody, there's a bond, right? It's like, I don't know if it's a fucking caveman thing with tribal, like, hey, if that tribe is a threat to both of our tribes, now our tribes are in alignment because if we survive and kill that tribe, then at least we're alive and then we can figure out the details between us later. But for right now, we're going to sync up and stay alive. Maybe it's something like that, like caveman psychology or something. But for whatever reason, aligning yourself against your ally's enemy deepens the bond with your ally. So Hokit calls Michelle Obama a fucking man, guys, at the White House on the biggest stage possible. They're saying more people watch this fight globally than the Super Bowl. And now every news media is going in. My sister, God bless her, does not watch fights. Right? I've got two sisters. One of them voted one way, one of them voted the other way. My sister that supported Colin. She's not into any fighting. She doesn't like me fighting. She gets worried about me. You know what I'm saying? Like very loving, but like not into fighting at all. On Instagram, she's literally posting Michelle Obama today, talking about like real men uplift women and they don't attack women and they don't tear women down and like all the like so that the speech has spread so wide that someone that doesn't even watch fighting, has no interest in the UFC, that is completely on the other side of everything from Trump, from Dana White, not into that, doesn't think it's cool that F-16s are going over the White House, doesn't think it's cool that people are backflipping motorcycles and dirt bikes, has no interest in watching any of this, is now sharing Michelle Obama memes. That's how far Hokit went with it. And now I wouldn't be surprised if Trump didn't tell Hokit, hey, bro, we're going to get breakfast. We got rooms in the White House. Spend the night. We're going to grab breakfast, right? Like that's how in alignment, because even if Trump's not going to come out and say it, right? Trump went pretty hard on Obama. And Trump, in a lot of ways, a lot of his mission is to repeal a lot of what Obama did. So Obama is a stated enemy, and Obama went in on him at a roast one time. And so they have legitimate like beef. Even though they're moving in the same circles and they have to like play political games and they're what, but like they probably really have like a trying to one up each other type beef or more. Put each other in jail, like crazy shit, right? And now Hokit is going in on Michelle, which is fucking crazy. That's crazy. But what's even crazier is this. So, in terms of like cutting a promo, in terms of pro wrestling, how to build a character, how to build a storyline, how to promote oneself through the microphone, Hokit's fucking nailing it. He's doing so well. Here's what he's also done. Hokit, before this fight, not only got this fight with Derek Lewis, he completely like just kind of skipped over Derek Lewis. He said he's going to leave Derek Lewis clueless, but most of his shit talk was to Alex Pereira, who was looking like he was going to be the most relevant person in the division at heavyweight. So he was skipping the line to get a title shot, essentially. So he called out the number one guy in his division. He called out the number one guy on the card, Ilia Topuria. And then he called out the number one guy in all of MMA right now, which is Sean Strickland. So Hokit has got everybody that is in a, he's got the most powerful power players in the whole space talking about him. And now he just did the same thing with Trump by aligning with Trump against a common enemy. That guy's a fucking genius. So whether you like what he did or didn't, or you agree with his statements about Michelle, and a lot of people are posting online, Big Mike or whatever, right? Like whatever you think about that, if you could take yourself out of it politically and just look at the strategic moves he's making, right? So, you know, the inverse would be if Kamala won and he would have said something about the orange guy or whatever, right? Like, but he would have had a common enemy with the person he's trying to align with. And now he's in alignment with the most powerful person on the planet. So Hokit's doing it all right. The next fight is going to be Hokit versus Cyril Gahn for the UFC undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Tom Aspinall's not doing himself any fucking favors having his manager Eddie Hearn beef with Dana White. Eddie needs to fucking apologize. Somebody said this to Eddie. Eddie, just apologize, bro. Dana's too established. He's too powerful. All you're going to do is hurt your client. That's it. There's no winning that battle right now, dog. You are outmanned and outgunned. And that's so if we go back to the art of war, right? Sun Tzu. Know yourself, you win half your battles. Know your enemy, you win the other half. Or I think it's the other way. Know your enemy, you win half your battles. Know yourself, you win the other. Right? But like, you got to know your enemy. So if Eddie Hearn is beefing with Dana White, who's Eddie Hearn and who's Dana White? And you got to know both of them. You're not his peer, bro. He's got you beat. He's with Trump. He's at the White House. They're making fucking history. Your fighter, Tyson Fury's pulling up to his event to announce that he's working with Dana now, right? Like, you're cooked, bro. You got to apologize. You got to say, hey, man, listen, fair play. You won. Dude, I listen, bro. I'm going to learn from you. Can you beat me? Can I learn from you? That's the correct take for Eddie Hearn. And then start working with Dana and then get Tom Aspinall back fighting. That's what we hope. Let me read the chat real quick. Aubrey Gordon, Tom probably isn't going to fight because Eddie is manipulating him. Dude, Eddie might even mean well, bro. Whether he means well or not, he is manipulating him. He's in his ear and he's manipulating him, right? And he could be trying to manipulate him for good or not even manipulate. He could be trying to influence him for good, or he could be manipulating him to play this chess game with him and Dana, which is not the play. There's no winning that game, right? And so the only thing that's benefiting from this is now Eddie Hearn is in every conversation that Dana has at a press conference. So Eddie Hearn's stock is rising. Eddie Hearn is now being referred to by Dana. He's getting the rub, which we've discussed in previous lives, of like, if Macho Man wrestled my uncle, now he's got the Hulk Hogan rub because he's able to say he wrestled the greatest. Right. So the same thing now, like Eddie Hearn can go around, I'm going to beef with Dana White. Oh, you see what Dana said about me? Now he's taking himself from regional promoter who's doing big boxing fights to like global star promoter in a way, right? So his stock is rising from this. But Tom, bro, dude, Tom needs to get his eyes healed, fixed, whatever time that takes, and needs to get back in there and fucking fight and stop listening to Eddie, right? There's no way that at this point Dana's going to go, you know what, Eddie? Let me pay Tom a bunch more money and redo his contract or whatever, right? Like, Tom needs to talk to Dana personally, maybe. Eddie needs to apologize. But so anyway, also, man, dude, you guys see that fucking, have you guys seen the image? There's a couple things. Have you seen the image of Michael Chandler backflipping at the White House? How fucking cool is that? Not Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, guys, Justin Gaethje. Have you guys seen the image of Justin Gaethje backflipping at the White House? That one's crazy. That one's nuts, man. That's like the most iconic picture in the history of pictures. And then they also have a reel. It's on UFC, and it is Justin Gaethje landing a right hand on Ilia Topuria, and it sounds like someone's knocking a baseball out of the park. It's all bop, right? It's like this. It's like this kind of low knock, like, but it's like lower than that, and it's like denser, and I don't know how to describe the sound, like hollowish in a way, or solid, like, but hollow. Like, it's a very unique sound. It's a man's fist bouncing off another man's head. I was gonna say that Dennis is right. Justin should just ride off into the sunset. Yeah, man. Here's what Justin should do. Justin should ride off into the sunset, with one exception. If Conor McGregor beats Max Holloway, and they can do Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor for the 155-pound title, that will be the biggest fight in the history of every fight ever, forever. Justin Gaethje coming off a White House win with more people watching than the Super Bowl. So viral that my fairly liberal sister is reposting Michelle Obama. That's how fucking big this event was. And if Justin is coming off that win and Conor beats Max in July, they're fighting in July, right? That's like just right around the corner, right? And then if Conor beats Max, they're fighting at welterweight. Doesn't matter. He's coming off a win. Gaethje's coming off a win for the title. Conor can get down to 55. Now, if Conor were to win that, Conor has the chance at being a triple champ because he can call out Islam. Then we have the Khabib versus Conor rivalry fulfilled through Islam, Makhachev. Or if Justin beats Conor, which is actually a decent stylistic matchup for Justin. If Justin goes out and like think about the career turnaround. He literally went from getting KO'd by Max Holloway in the last second to then coming back, getting himself to the fucking White House, beating the most challenging odds against the most technical, most hyped up opponent possible. Dude, people were talking about like Ilya's the GOAT. And Justin beats him and then goes from that to the biggest fucking fight possible and beats Conor. If he can retire on that, that's the only way to beat retiring right now. And even right now, he might be better off just retiring, right? Like, what was that R&B song back in the day? Don't go chasing waterfalls. But guess what, man? If you don't risk it, you don't get the reward. So, like, can he do one more? Could he beat Conor? And maybe Conor wouldn't go down to 55. Maybe Conor feels that off a win against Max Holloway, Conor should fight Islam Makhachev right away. But they're fighting a welterweight. We will never see Chandler versus McGregor. Oh, bro. Listen, man. There's a chance. If McGregor loses to Max Holloway, one could make an argument that maybe they have him fight Chandler. Maybe. I don't fuck, dude. You're right. We're never gonna see that fight. You're right, bro. You're right. I'm over here trying to be hopeful. Like, man, maybe if Conor loses, no, I don't know, dude. It's hard. It's hard to book Chandler at this point. That fight didn't do him any favors, man. That was rough. That was brutal. I liked Michael Chandler. I was hoping Michael Chandler would pull it off. I wanted all the Americans to win, personally. I'm biased. Guys. So yeah, that was wild. And I feel like moving forward, Josh Hokit should run with this character at least until he fights for the belt. Maybe after he wins the belt, he can do a character switch and go like, hey guys, all that shit was cringe. I had to do what I had to do. But guess what? I am the highest paid rookie in UFC history because other than Brock Lesnar, who already had an established career as a WWE wrestler and all that, with that exception, Josh Hokit has made more money than any rookie in UFC history. So he's doing shit right. He could say, hey, man, I had to do what I had to do. Now, this is me. And then he could go off and he could talk like normal shit to people at that point. Because if he wins the belt, then he's the champ. Everybody's gunning at him anyway, right? And then he called out Strickland, guys. So can you imagine Hokit beats Cyril Gahn, wrestle fucks him, beats him up, and then somehow the beef with Strickland escalates, and then Strickland's like, you know what? Fuck it, bro. I will go up to heavyweight and fight you. And Strickland versus fucking Hokit for the UFC heavyweight title. Can you guys imagine that? That would be fucking nuts. Okay. Aubrey Gordon says, in all fairness, he thinks Max gets it done. Conor beat him before. He'll beat him again. I'm picking Conor, bro. You want to bet the house on it? Oh, speaking of which, dude, Ty from the chat, where did he go? He was in the chat last night. He watched my Justin Gaethje will win. I'm 100% sure. I think it was titled UFC Insider picks Justin Gaethje. Here's why. Here's how I know he'll win. He watched that video. He bet on Justin Gaethje based on that video. He secured a big bag and he pulled up to Extreme Couture today and he shot me $50 cash. Like a real one. You know, listen, he had notifications on. He was subscribed. He had notifications on. The live went live. He got notified. He hopped on. He watched the case I made for Justin Gaethje. He bet. He won. And then he kept his word, which is, dude, there's so many people that just don't do what they say they're going to do. If the only skill you have in life is like you just go, hey, from now on, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. Whether that's like, hey man, I'm gonna come over on Friday and we're gonna go watch a movie. Then Friday comes, you're like, oh, I don't feel like it, right? No, just go, bro. You said you're gonna do. If you say you're gonna do your laundry on Monday, do your laundry on Monday. Like, if you just do what you say you're gonna do, not even I'm gonna win 10 UFC world titles. You don't even have to say, if it's just like, I'm gonna do my laundry on this day. I'm gonna go to practice on this day. I'm gonna do 2 practices today. I'm going to eat clean these next 6 days and then have 1 treat on the weekend, right? Like, if you just say you're going to do it and do it, you're going to be ahead of 95 fucking 1,000% of the population. It's so crazy. The barrier is so low. Everybody's bullshitting. And they're bullshitting themselves. They're like, oh, I'm going to do this and that and the other thing. Like, I have a dear friend. He might be watching the live right now. He keeps telling me he wants to do a podcast with me. Big, big, big MMA manager. He can get big ass guests, no problem, right? Studio, all that. He keeps telling me about this. He's told me about this for over a year. Nothing has happened. And you know what I do? I go live every day. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't worry about that. I don't go, why doesn't so and so do this? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep doing this. Would I love to do a podcast with the guy? Yeah, that'd be fun. He's got some controversial takes. He's got some very controversial takes. But guess what? His words and his actions are not one. They don't match, right? So, does he want to do a podcast? I don't know. Does he want to do a podcast and he just is not able to get it done? I don't know. Like, does he just say he wants to do a podcast, but he doesn't really want to do one? I don't know. I don't care. Like, and this isn't me being like, oh, I'm a dick to my friend. No, dude, I'm indifferent. Like, it doesn't matter. I just know we're not doing a podcast. You get what I'm saying? And then he'll tell me, oh, bro, we got to do the podcast. I'm like, yeah, bro, of course. Anytime. Whenever you're ready. I don't pressure him. I don't sweat him. You know what I'm saying? So the number one thing that, like, if you just want to just set yourself apart from everybody else, is just do what the fuck you say you're going to do. So that's why I'm bringing up my guy Ty. He was in the chat. He said he was going to drop me $50 if Justin Gaethje wins. And now I'm not the type of dude that's going to hold you to that, like, oh, bro, you owe me money. No. I'm from the show me state. You said that, so show me. And then he showed me. And I'm like, this motherfucker's a real one. Like he said he was going to do it and he fucking did it. And that to me is incredible. That's awesome, right? So, like, that's one of my current metrics for just judging what people are up to, is just like, how close to what they say is what they do. And most people, it's very far. Even at the gym, right? I coach at Extreme Couture. There's people that want special treatment, but they don't even keep their word. Like, hey man, I'm gonna be here every day this week. Okay, cool. Hey, you think you can help me with this? Yeah, dude, whatever. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And then they don't even show up the next day. Like, oh man, I was so sore from practice on Monday. Bro, stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. Like, just stop. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to talk to me about it. You don't have to tell me what you would have done or you should have done or you could have done, or, oh, well, if somebody would have, dude, you just weren't here. Just show up. Just stop talking. Like, I remember one time I had a person who was adjacent to like a friend of mine, right? And this person was doing drugs. And then they were trying to explain to me about how they're not doing drugs. And I just said, hey, bruh, don't admit it. Don't deny it. Just stop it. Just fucking stop. You don't have to talk to me, but you don't have to explain it. You don't have to say, oh, no, you see, I'm just losing all this weight because no, I don't give a fuck. Just stop it. No, there's no judgment, none of that. Stop it. Right? Like, so it's the same thing. Like, if you say something, just do it. Or don't, but like, don't try and explain it to me. Oh man, see the way. Oh, dude, I don't need it, bro. I'm going by actions. And then it's like when people go, don't judge people by their words, judge them by their actions. Like if you can literally, one, do what you say you're going to do. And then two, so like when I go, hey guys, I go live every day. And then I go fucking live every day. And you go, damn, this motherfucker's done it for over 100 days straight. Didn't miss a day. Oh, I believe him when he says he's going live tomorrow. So if I go, hey guys, I'm going live tomorrow, every single one of you guys will believe me because I've gone live over 100 days in a row. And the first day I went live, I said, I'm going to go live every day. So then, because my words and my actions are one, it's like now we have a very trustworthy relationship. So on the other side of that, stop listening to what these people tell you they're going to do. Just look at what they do. Oh, she says she wants a boyfriend that treats her nice, but she's dating bartenders and blah, 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 and chasing this, and then leaves you. Like, bro, that ain't the girl for you. Just go by her actions. You know what I mean? If it's your boy, oh man, I'm going to start training with you, bro. I'm going to come down there. Dog, stop talking. I'll see you tomorrow. And if he doesn't show up tomorrow, then, oh, bro, see the thing, man, I was good. See, I want to get in shape to go to the gym before I go to the gym. So I'm going to get in shape. So then once I'm in shape, then I'll go. Like, dog, just please stop talking to me. I'm just looking at your actions. If you can do that, those two steps, do what you say you're going to do, and just watch people's actions, your life will be so fucking high level. And like, I won a fucking pro MMA title at 44 years old, dude. Like, that's pretty fucking exceptional. And it's just like, I do what I say I'm going to do, and I judge people on their actions. And it's like this crazy life hack. And it's like, it doesn't need to be that complicated, guys. Anyways, man, I love you guys. Appreciate you for popping on. Thank you to everybody that hopped in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the real ones who are lurking but are nervous, scared, afraid, shy, too shy to drop a chat. But anyone else that's watching this after this goes, oh shit, Arpon the Don, love the show. Hey man, love you, bro. The moderator extraordinaire, Arpon the Don. Hey, and Arpon's been pressing me. He's saying, hey man, I thought your words and your actions were one. I said, they are. He said, well, you keep saying you're going to use this new software and you're going to do all this shit. So I've set aside time tomorrow to learn the software so that I don't have the fucking backwards ass videos. Because I keep saying, and I'll say it out loud because I like to keep my word. So now I'm saying it. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying it. This, like the other day, hey guys, tomorrow I'm going live earlier. I say it out loud and then I go, fuck, I said it. I got to do it now. So tomorrow I'm going to set the camera the other way. I'm going to try and I'm going to try and make like a 9-minute video. My goal is like a 9-minute video. The video will be something to the effect of, I've got 3 insider stories about my Uncle Hulk Hogan and Donald Trump that nobody knows. And I'm going to drop those 3 stories in a video. But I want to have like videos pop up. I want to have text on the screen. I want to have transitions. And in order to do that, I could do that in like CapCut, but I don't like fucking editing after the fact. I want to do it real time. That way, when we're on these lives, like any other fucking live on the planet where they pull shit up and then they play it and all that, like my goal is to practice on this video so that I can start doing that on the lives. Now, to anybody else, to you guys watching, you're like, dude, that's the most simple shit ever, right? but I'm saying it publicly to hold myself accountable because I have an identity that my words and my actions are one. And there's actually a Chinese phrase for it. And my girlfriend's a Chinese genius and she taught me the phrase. So I need to remember the phrase because I'm learning Chinese as well. So, anyways, that's what the fuck I'm up to, guys. I'm out here trying to learn my third language. So I'm pretty good at Spanish. Quiero hablar contigo, pero no entiendo todas las palabras, pero practicar. Anyway, you know what I mean? So I'm borderline fluent in Spanish at this point. Like if you talk despacio y claro conmigo, I can understand most of it, but not all of it, right? So then I was like, you know what? Portuguese is adjacent to Spanish. So it's just similar pronunciations. So attention, atención, attention, right? So those three words are very similar, but one is English, one's Spanish, and one's Portuguese. So there's all these. I know this is way off fucking topic, right? But like there's all these words that are very, very similar across languages. And so if you just learn the ending of those words, right, then you already know like half the fucking language off the jump. So this is a life hack. If you guys want to look more into this, there is a teacher. I believe he passed away, but he has Audible. It's called Michel Thomas. Michel Thomas's way of learning languages. And it's like a fucking life hack. So, anyways, I was gonna learn Portuguese next. Instead, I'm learning Chinese, guys. That's what I'm up to. Chinese is fucking way different. Chinese is way different, way different. And in Chinese, they have inflections, right? So, like fan or fan, it's FAN either way, right? Fan or fan, right? Like, so one word means annoying and one word means rice. But it's like the inflection of it. So it's a completely different language style. So I'm having fun learning that, but I still gotta memorize words and actions are one. Because it's a dope Chinese phrase and I want to fucking memorize it. So, anyways, that's what the fuck I'm on. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, I get at least some progress on this fucking video with the software. And then in the near future, we'll be on here together. And you guys will be like, oh, bro, did you see that? I'll be like, don't, let me pull it up. Boom, pull it up. We watch it together. We react to it together type shit. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have notifications on, man. I might go live at like 3 p.m. No telling what I might do. Peace.